Peace. 30 minutes, quick reading exercise, motivational speech. Get your day started with a good motivational speech for the subconscious. Shouldn't take me 30 minutes to read this, but let's begin. Chapter 1. Any person may become great. There is a principle of power in every person. By the intelligent use and direction of this principle, man can develop his own mental faculties. Man has an inherent power by which he may grow in whatsoever direction he pleases. And there does not appear to be any limit to the possibilities of his growth. A seed, we are the seed of unlimited potential. No man has yet become so great in any faculty, but that it is possible for someone else to become greater. No man has yet become so great in any faculty, but that it is possible for someone else to become greater. So it's unlimited. The possibility is in the original substance from which man is made. Genius is omniscience flowing into man. Genius is more than talent. Talent may merely be one faculty developed out of proportion to the other faculties. But genius is the union of man and God in the acts of the soul. Great men are always greater than their deeds. They are in connection with the reserve power that is without limit. We do not know where the boundary of the mental power of man is. There is no boundaries. We do not even know that there is a boundary. The power of conscious growth is not given to the lower animals. It is man's alone and may be developed and increased by him. The lower animals can, to a great extent, be trained and developed by man, but man can train and develop himself. And that goes with the biblical saying where we get on, when man get dominion over all things of the realm earth. Man can train animals, but who can train man? Man himself. He alone has this power, and he has it to an apparently unlimited extent. The purpose of life for man is growth, just as the purpose of life for trees and plants is growth. Trees and plants grow automatically and along fixed lines. Man can grow as he will. Trees and plants can only develop certain possibilities and characteristics. Right? A redwood tree got its own characteristic, and a pine tree got its own. Man can develop any power which is or has been shown by any person. Different from the tree. Man got the limited possibility. Any person, anywhere. Nothing that is possible in spirit is impossible in flesh and blood. That's deep. Nothing that man can think is impossible in action. Nothing that man can imagine is impossible in realization. Man is formed from growth, and he is under the necessity of growing. It is essential to his happiness, that he should continuously advance. Life without progress becomes unendurable, and the person who ceases from growth must either become imbecile or insane. The greater and the more harmonious and well-rounded his growth, the happier a man will be. That's why we learn well constantly. That's good. That's part of growing. Learning new things is growing. It's equivalent. There is no possibility in any man that is not in every man. But if they proceed naturally, no two men will grow into the same thing or be alike. Every man comes into the world with a predisposition to grow along certain lines, and growth is easier for him along those lines than in any other way. So we all got our special things that is put around us. Start with our parents and their teachings that specialize each us in our own unique way of growing. We are our own unique tree, so to say. One of a kind. And growth is easier for him along those lines than in any other way. This is a wise provision, for it gives endless variety. It is as if a gardener should throw all his bulbs into one basket. To the superficial observer, they will look alike, but growth reveals a tremendous difference. So, of man and women, they are like the basket of bulbs. One may be a rose and added brightness and color to some dark corner of the world. One may be a lily and teach a lesson of love and purity to every eye that sees. One may be a climbing vine and hide the rugged outlines of some dark rock. One may be a great oak among whose boughs the birds shall nest and sing, and beneath whose shade the flocks shall rest at noon. But every one will be something worthwhile, something rare, something perfect. They are undreamed of possibilities in the common lives all around us. In a large sense, they are no common people. In terms, right, everybody is a celebrity or a star. Like all the stars in the sky. The planetary bodies. You got bodies on Earth. In times of national stress and peril, the cracker box loafer of the corner store and the village drunkard become heroes and statesmen. Through the quickening of the principle of power within them, the principles of power within them. There is a genius in every man and woman waiting to be brought forth. Every village has its great man or woman, someone to whom all go for advice in time of trouble, someone who is instinctively recognized as being great in wisdom and insight. To such a one, the minds of the whole community turn in times of local crisis. He is tacitly recognized as being great. He does small things in a great way. He could do great things as well if he did but undertake them. So can any man, so can you. The principle of power gives us just what we ask of it. If we only undertake little things, it will only give us power for little things. But if we try to do great things in a great way, it gives us all the power there is. But beware of undertaking great things in a small way. Of that we shall speak further on. Of that we shall speak further on. There are two mental attitudes a man may take. One makes him like a football. It has resilience and reacts strongly when force is applied to it. But it originates nothing. It never acts of itself. There is no power within it. Right? A football that's not full with air, you still can throw it around, but you must push it, right? You must throw it even harder through the air than you would with a football with air in it, right? Men of this type are controlled by circumstances and environment. Their destinies are decided by things external to themselves. The principle of power within them is never really active at all. They never speak or act from within. The other attitude makes a man a flowing spring. Power comes out from the center of him. He has within him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. He radiates force. He is felt by his environment. The principle of power in him is in constant action. He is self-active. He has life in himself. And that's the football that's inflated with air. Even though you get help pushing it through the air, the spiral in the direction is all guided by the air within it, right? No greater good can come to any man or woman than to become self-active. All the experience of life are designed by providence to force man and woman into self-activity, right? God help those who help themselves, to compel them to cease being creatures of circumstance and master their environment. In his lowest stage, man is the child of chance and circumstance and the slave of fear. His acts are all reaction resulting from the impingement upon him of forces in his environment, going with the flow of his surroundings instead of making the world what he wants the world to be. He acts only as he is acted upon. He originates nothing. But the lowest savage has within him a principle of power sufficient to master all that he fears. And if he learns this and becomes self-active, he becomes as one of the gods. Even the lowest savage of man got the power. It's all within him. The awakening of the principle of power in man is the real conversion, the passing from death to life. It is when the dead hear the voice of the Son of Man and come forth and live. It is the resurrection and the life. When it is awakened, man becomes the son of the highest, and all power is given to him in heaven and on earth. Nothing was ever in any man that is not in you. No man ever had more spiritual or mental power that you can attain, and the greater things than you can accomplish. You can become what you want to be. And again, it's the end. But that goes into we all is a seed of unlimited potentials. It's just a matter how we manifest it, starting from within. So peace till next time. Motivational speech, part 1. Do a lot of these in the coming months. We got we're gonna build an Etsy shop, so most likely we're gonna read these before, show you my day, how I schedule my shops and other businesses.